The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Big Brothers, Big Sisters on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the beautiful Senior Botanical Garden in Kernersville. We'll tell you more about them later on, and later on is when the roundtable shows up and we'll get into all sorts of controversial topics, so stay tuned for that. Between now and then, some great guests, important information coming your way. Where we want to start, speaking of important, we want to talk about mentoring, and specifically to salute Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and we do that with two very special guests. First, on my immediate right, my good friend Marcus Thomas, who's Director of Community Engagement for Triad Federal Credit Union, and our first-time special guest that Marcus brought along with him, Holly Free, is Vice President of Philanthropy for Big Brothers Big Sisters Central Piedmont. Welcome to both of you. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Marcus, let me start with you. In what ways is Triad involved in the community, and why do you support Big Brothers Big Sisters?
So we're involved in the community in a number of different ways, primarily through sponsorships and charitable giving through our True Lion Foundation, just sponsoring nonprofits that are doing great work out in the community, like Big Brothers Big Sisters, who work with the youth, which is one of our focus areas, youth and education. And so we just want to come alongside, support their mission, to support the great work that they're doing in the community, to continue to help promote mentorship in the Triad, because we understand that that is important.
Well, absolutely, and sort of bouncing off of what Marcus said, what's the mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Our mission is that every child who comes through our organization achieves their full potential.
Now, what counties and areas specifically do you serve under your office?
So we serve Greensboro and High Point and parts of Archdale and Trinity.
What makes your organization different from others that maybe do some mentoring?
So what makes us different is the support that we provide the matches. So a match is that between a big brother and a little brother, a big sister, a little sister. So once we match that pair together, and we do that carefully as well too, we provide the support they need, so that, you know, if there's little hiccups along the way, that they're there, that they have somebody that they can talk to about that and work through things. And if the child needs help, or if something comes up in their home life, that they have somebody, the family has somebody, and that the big has somebody that they can talk through that, and so that the match stays together. And we have matches that have been together, you know, into adulthood, and they're matched forever.
Oh yeah, my friend David Daggett, who's on the show a lot, has been almost a lifetime mentor for Big Brothers Big Sisters. What do you look for in a mentor?
We look for somebody who has a good heart for and wants to, you know, just give back, and wants to, you know, realizes that it doesn't take much to be a mentor. You know, it takes little to be big is one of the logos.
That's a neat thing.
Big Brothers Big Sisters.
And since you mentioned, I was going to ask, is if I say, well, you know, I'd like to volunteer to be a big brother, but gee, I don't know, I don't have a lot of spare time. So how much time do you have to give?
6 to 8 hours a month, or if you're doing the site-based, which you go to a school or a local Boys and Girls Club, it's only 1 hour a week during the school year. And it really can be done over like a chess game, or texting back and forth, or maybe a baseball game, or a trip to a museum, or just hanging out over a cup of coffee at a coffee shop. It really doesn't have to be anything like incredible. I mean, you don't have to be a saint to be a big brother or big sister. You just have to know how to have a conversation and be committed and have that time.
Well, how important is support from True Lion Federal Credit Union to help sustain your mission?
We are so appreciative of True Lion, because we don't charge any fees to the children and the families who use our services. So we could not do what we do without the support of True Lion and our other supporters. I mean, it's huge. We do this together. We're in this together. So.
And I asked Holly off camera, I said, have you ever been a mentor? And she said yes, and she has been mentored by other people. And Marcus, I said, have you ever been mentored? And you said
yes.
Yeah, constantly. You said
yeah,
that's
all the time.
We all look to people to help us. I think that's great. I think what you're doing is great, Holly. For more information, you can go to bbbscp.org, bbbscp.org, and also please visit truelionfcu.org. Thanks again for all you're doing for the community and for the kids. We'll be right back after this.
Banking is like going for a swim. You don't need all the complicated stuff, but you don't want to feel exposed either. At Truliant, we give you just what you need, so you can manage your money on the go or stop by a branch whenever you need to. It's all about having options, while also keeping life simple, with low rates, free financial advice, and friendly faces. So check out Truliant. We have just what you need.
Need help buying food? Everyone needs help sometimes. Food and Nutrition Services may be able to help you buy food and free up your money for other expenses, such as utilities and medicine. To receive F&S assistance, households must meet income limits. You may be able to get assistance even if you own a home, car, land, property, or have a retirement plan or money in the bank. Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest North Carolina team members can help you with the application process over the phone. To receive help or if you have any questions, call 336-422-7758.
Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today is now streaming on WFMY Plus, available free on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Back now on Triad Today, and I always like to spend a few minutes whenever we can with the good folks from Alamance Community College, and we have a wonderful guest with us right now. Kim McKenzie is Department Head for Healthcare Management Technology, Medical Office, and Office Administration at Alamance Community College. That's a long title with a lot of responsibility. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, since I mentioned all those things, and you're in charge of 3 different programs, but they're all kind of related. So I want you to take me through each one and tell me how you determine that prospective students might think that one's good for them or better for them than the other.
Okay, definitely. So medical office administration are for the individuals looking for an office administrative duty. They don't want clinical positions.
Gotcha.
So they will learn how to do registration, scheduling appointments, some medical billing, some coding, bookkeeping, stuff like that.
Right.
Office administration is for the individuals who do not want to work in healthcare. They just want to work in a general business or an attorney's office or any kind of legal agency. Those individuals would also learn administrative duties and potentially move into managerial roles.
Okay. And then you've got healthcare management technology.
Yes, healthcare management technology are for our healthcare work of healthcare individuals interested in a managerial position in a healthcare setting.
Okay, and it could be a physician's office or a hospital or any of that?
Any of those.
Now, what kind of credentials does Alamance Community College offer for each of these 3 areas? How does that work?
So we have 4 degrees that we offer: healthcare management, medical office administration, and medical auditing.
Right.
2 diplomas are offered, which is medical auditing and office administration, and 6 certificates.
Okay.
And 1 is new. Our dental office certificate is new as of this year.
Now, if I want to enroll in one of these programs, do I need some kind of prior experience, or are there prerequisites for me to be able to get into them, or what?
No, that's not necessary. There aren't any required prerequisites. There's not any prior work experience. We will introduce and train you in the skills that you need to be successful in a role in this field.
Now, I'm assuming, you correct me if I'm wrong, but heading up all these things and all this responsibility, you also sort of keep in touch with area industries and know what kind of jobs are out there and where these folks can be placed afterwards. What kind of relationship do you have in the community and with industry and trying to get the kids or the graduates where they need to be?
We actually have great people who are very interested in helping ACC students. So local facilities will reach out to me and say, I have a position open. Do you have any upcoming or recent graduates that you feel would be best for this role? I have an advisory committee that I can go to and say, I have some graduates that are getting ready to leave ACC and are looking for a position. Do you know of any? Do you have any at your facility?
So you're really networking on that.
Yes. And of course, the school itself has a career service department as part of the Student Success Center, and ACC has been doing career fairs so that they can actually come on campus and recruit and talk to our students.
We didn't rehearse this or anything, but since you and I are meeting for the first time, I'm just wondering what's gratifying to you about the work that you do? I know you're busy and you're looking after a lot of areas, but what's gratifying about it?
When the students come back and they're happy and successful in their careers, that we know that I was able to not only train them, but help them find placement. Because a lot of students come from various backgrounds, and some of them have been struggling up until they were able to find that niche that they needed in life.
Well, I just think what you're doing is great and really helping these folks get started in a new life, a new career, and I applaud what you're doing. And I want to put something up on screen before I forget, before time runs out. Alamance CC, of course it stands for community college, alamantcc.edu is the general website, which will tell you all about not just the areas that Kim and I were talking about, but all the course offerings there at the college. Kim, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
With prices increasing everywhere, Duke Energy is here to help with your energy bill, offering a variety of customer assistance programs. Lower rates for using energy at different times of day, free energy insights to help lower your bill, and payment plans and programs that make staying on budget easier. We're Duke Energy, and we're here to help you.
You know, it's hard to believe the Safe Sober program has been going strong for over 30 years.
And over 600,000 students have made the pledge to stay safe and sober on prom night. You know, Griff, it's had a huge impact on our community.
Yeah, you're right, David. And now we're making sure the message continues year-round.
So everyone can join us in supporting our students.
Learn more and take the pledge at safesober.com, sponsored by Daggett Schuler.
Back now on Triad Today, time to talk about health and staying healthy and having regular exams. And gosh, I'd like to have a doctor to talk about that. We just happen to have one in the house. Next to me, Dr. Michael Murs, physician with Northern Family Medicine in Mount Airy, part of the Northern Regional Hospital family. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
By way of Ohio and Massachusetts.
That's right.
Now you're with us. And how long have you been in practice down here?
So I've been down here in North Carolina for about 7 years now. That includes some residency time in Winston-Salem at Wake Forest, and then practice on my own for the last, I guess, 3 or 4 years now.
Now, and I want to talk about your practice in just a second, but I'm curious, since we've never met before, who or what led you to want to go into a career in healthcare? Was it a teacher, a mom, a dad, or somebody you knew had been a doctor or a nurse, or what was it?
Yeah, so my mom is a nurse. She's a registered nurse. She's been retired for a number of years now, but that was always a big influence on me growing up. If you ask my parents, they'll say I started telling them I wanted to be a doctor when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
So I guess it's been kind of a long...
Yeah, I played doctor in the neighborhood, but I don't want to go
with it.
I don't want to go into that. There's some girls that... Now, so your mom was a big influence on you.
Absolutely.
Angel of Mercy, she.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, she worked with babies when she was a nurse.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
All right, now let's talk about regular exams. You know how dentists will sometimes say, well, come in every 6 months.
Absolutely.
Now I'm talking to you as a family physician. How often should somebody get a checkup?
I think the blanket statement is everybody should be seen by their family doctor at least once a year. And that's to make sure you're up to date on routine healthcare screening exams, to make sure that your blood pressure is under control, because that's one of those things that you may not know unless you're having it checked. There are certain people with chronic medical conditions or who are on medicines that may need to see their family medicine provider more than that, but I think nobody should go more than a year without being checked up by that.
Yeah, that's good advice. Now, what about wellness checks? Who should have those and how often?
Yeah, so part of that at least yearly exam is going over things like preventative health, and so that's what we would call wellness checks. So things like cancer screening, routine labs, blood pressure checks. Everybody should have some sort of wellness check. And there are certain things that would lead people to maybe need more done, again, if you have those chronic medical conditions.
How does somebody's family history affect their own health?
Absolutely. So family history is really important because a lot of the things we think about have a genetic component to them, whether it be high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cancer, and a lot of the cancer screenings that we think of, if there's breast cancer or colon cancer that runs in the family, we would start those screenings at a younger age. And so it's really important for everybody to know their family history, talk to your parents and grandparents about what kind of things run in the family.
All right, here we are once again in COVID season, flu season, cold season, different strains of COVID. Who should be thinking about getting a vaccine?
Yeah, vaccines are most important for our at-risk population. So those are people who are over the age of 65 or have chronic immunosuppressing conditions. Those are really important for them to prevent ill effects from any type of virus, or bacteria, whether it's pneumonia, COVID, flu. So those are the most important people. However, I do recommend a flu vaccine for everybody.
Do you say to folks who are at risk or high risk populations that they should also wear a mask?
I think they should wear a mask if they're going to be around people who are known to be sick or in big crowds. Everybody should take precautions. This is even before COVID. Everybody should take precautions to keep themselves healthy. Washing hands frequently, wearing a mask if you know you're going to be around people who have been sick.
Right. I want to put something up on screen here. Northern Family Medicine. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Doc. I think folks can reach you at 786-4133. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so if they want to make an appointment or ask questions, or I could have given your home number, but
That's
I didn't
right.
do that. Also, we want you to check out the general website for Northern Regional Hospital. That's choosenorthern.org, choosenorthern.org, and we hope you will do that. And I really appreciate what you're doing to look after folks in this area, and thanks for everything.
Thank you so much.
Will you come back sometime?
Absolutely.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
Are you looking to jumpstart your future in the fast-paced, rapidly growing food industry? In Second Harvest Food Bank's Providence Culinary Training Program, you'll learn the craft and art of cooking, plus business and management skills, science and nutrition, and essential life skills. Providence Culinary Training has helped hundreds of individuals just like you launch successful culinary careers. There's no reason to wait to turn your passion for food into an exciting career. Check out the upcoming class schedule on our website at providencews.org.
Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you to catch my column Longworth at Large and Yes Weekly every week. It's available throughout the Triad, or you can go online, yesweekly.com. Back now on Triad Today, and it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Theater to the show. He stops by every month or so just to say hello and let us know what's going on at the theater. Dave Briggs, Director of High Point Theater. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Jim.
Lots going on at the theater. You just recently had a successful show with the Players in Chicago. That went well, didn't it?
It was a very nice show. Very good show.
There's some big things coming up that I want to talk about and ask you about. Coming up on Friday, October 6th, and I understand this runs through October the 8th, 9 to 5, the musical. Now, is that sort of based on the Dolly Parton movie? Or tell me about it.
It is. I mean, the Dolly Parton,
Lily Tomlin,
and Jane Fonda and Dabney Coleman film. It's the music. A lot of the music is by Dolly Parton. 9 to 5 was a huge hit, of course, for her.
Yeah, so we'll hear that.
You'll hear that. It's really fun. It takes the movie and puts it on stage. It's a scream. So,
yeah, that seems to be kind of a trend, like Mary Poppins from the movie to the stage. And 9 to 5.
Exactly. Yeah.
Classic Journey Live. That's on Saturday, October the 21st. Tell me about that.
So this is a rental event for us, but Classic Journey Live they performed with us, I think, on 3 other occasions. They are a really top drawer Journey tribute band, and the musicians are wonderful. They take a look. They bring in the red piano, and it's a fun show.
For people that might have season tickets, but they've never heard of Journey,
right.
What will they hear?
Well, they'll hear all the Journey classics that you would expect to hear.
Right.
Don't Stop Believing, and I think that was one of their
Don't
hits.
Stop Believing. Wasn't that Bill Clinton's
I think
theme
it was
or
Bill
something?
Clinton.
Yeah. We won't get into
No,
that.
let's not do that, but that's okay.
Ofrenda, Thursday, October 26th.
So Ofrenda is a Dia de los Muertos, a Day of the Dead celebration featuring the Ballet Folklorico of Los Angeles and the Mariachi Garibaldi. These folks sell out the Hollywood Bowl every time they show up. It is a beautiful, really celebration of the Hispanic tradition of the Dia de los Muertos.
The Day of the Dead.
They've got to see this. And it's in perfect timing for Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't think about that. Now, on Friday, October the 27th, the United States Air Force Concert Band, saw them one time at High Point Theater. Great.
They're phenomenal. And this is the band from Washington, D.C. And they are coming. The government didn't shut down, along with the singing sergeants. So you're going to have not only this amazing band, but you've got this incredible group of vocalists. They're phenomenal. And that's on the 27th. It's a free concert, but you still have to have a ticket.
Right.
You can call the theater, or you can send us a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Now, if I have I don't want to take too much time with this, but just to veer off for a second, if I have if I'm a season ticket holder and it's a free concert, do I still need to call separately to get a ticket for this?
Still need to call and get a ticket for admittance. What we do is we actually oversell the venue because it's free. And then folks come in. And then about 15 minutes before the concert, if there's still space available, those who don't have a ticket, we allow in.
All right, Will Downing in concert. That's Saturday, October 28th. Will Downing.
Will Downing is the prince of sophisticated soul. So I think Lou Rawls, when I think about Will Downing, he is so smooth. His band is incredible. This will be the second time we've had Will with us, and absolutely, people are going to love his music. I mean, he crosses over all things. It's just wonderful R&B.
Now, are tickets still available? Let's say you don't have a season ticket. Can I get tickets to all these we just mentioned?
Absolutely. Every show that we have has tickets available currently.
And I also want to put in a plug as I see this on screen. HighPointTheater.com is the website. You can get great general information on each of these, detailed information on the bands, the groups, and everybody. But if you want tickets, the best way to do that is to call 336-887-3001. Please do that. And I'm going to invite you to stay on for the roundtable. Will you do that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Good. Sure. All right, Dave, and I'll be back in just a minute.
Fly local, fly easy, fly PTI.
Every cookie sold in the Girl Scout Cookie Program helps girls learn lifelong lessons in people skills, decision making, money management, goal setting, and business ethics. It's amazing how much you can learn from a cookie. The Girl Scout Cookie Program. Think outside the box.
Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the roundtable, but a quick shout out to the good folks here at Senior Botanical Garden in Kernersville. Please visit the garden. It's a beautiful place. It's always great, too, when these guys are in the garden with me. On my right, but always political left, Ogie Overman, Dave Briggs. We held over from the High Point Theater segment, Keith Granberry from Helping Hands Consultants. And before we get to the first topic, I just wanted to mention for the record that this broadcast this weekend is the 20th anniversary of our first broadcast in October of 2003. Lots changed since then. Gas was $1.59 a gallon back then. Inflation was at a 37-year low. People who had cell phones used them mainly to talk to other people instead of texting. We had a sparse studio set back then with a black wall and a gray drape. Lee Kinder and Leonard Simpson and I talking in front of it, and my hair was different, so was my waistline. But one thing that hasn't changed is our commitment to public service and to giving a forum to individuals and agencies throughout the Piedmont who are making such a difference in improving the quality of life of individuals, and we will continue to do that. And now to the first topic. It's the next annual survey. The U.S. Census Bureau said they want to seek permission from the Biden administration to start asking questions about sexual orientation and gender identity for people over the age of 15. What do you think about what the Census Bureau wants to do? Ogie, you okay with that?
First of all, congratulations. That's quite an accomplishment, Jim.
Thank you.
I would be okay with that, and I may be if there's adequate safeguards to prevent hackers from getting in there, right-wingers and crazy people. But there's some people that just can't come out. I mean, they just, for various reasons, they just can't come out, so.
What do you think about the Census Bureau asking those questions?
I say no. What data are they trying to collect? And I agree with Ogie. How are they going to use that data? What's the purpose of it? And by the way, congratulations.
Thanks. And Ogie and Keith have been here most of the time, and then we got newbies like you that have stayed on the round table. So the Census Bureau wants to check on gender identity and stuff. Keith, what do you think?
What are they using that information for? I don't think it's useful, and I think they need to continue to do what they're doing. It's just over the top.
Every year for the past 30 years or so, North Carolina A&T State University has received a lot less funding than does NC State University, for example. Education officials say the gap in funding is due to many factors, including that A&T has twice as many out-of-state students and half as many graduate students as NC State. Now, A&T wants, and some education officials agree, to give $2 billion to the university in restitution. Should they get the money, and will Congress approve it? Oh.
Actually, I do think they've been underappreciated and underfunded for a long time. $2 billion might be a bit high, but something they got to get some kind of retribution.
All right, Dave.
A&T has an incredible reputation as a research institution, and I think they deserve the money. Again, I don't know about the dollar figure, but they have been very underfunded.
Keith, will Congress give $2 billion?
This is just part of a bigger problem. Most HBCUs are underfunded,
right,
and aren't receiving the funds that they need, and they are churning out amazing students. So I think it needs to be looked at as a whole, but I think they do definitely deserve the money. They have one of the top engineering programs in the world.
The North Carolina General Assembly just announced that starting next year, the state will end emissions tests for vehicles. Lawmakers say this will save people from making expensive repairs just because their sensor light comes on. Are you okay with suspending emissions testing, Ogie?
Personally, I am. I'm okay with it, but I look at the big picture, and there's probably emissions, these, burners out there on the road. Maybe not. I think let's keep emissions standards.
And they'll still do safety checks, Dave, but what about getting rid of emissions testing?
Well, I think thanks to cash for clunkers, a lot of the vehicles that needed those emissions tests are off the road. So since 1990, every vehicle that comes to the U.S. has a catalytic converter. I'd like to see it maybe once every 5 years.
Do the emissions test every 5 years? Keith, what do you think, getting rid of emission testing on
I don't
cars?
think they should have even started it. I really don't. I mean, and with the advent of electric cars, I think it's going to be less and less important.
Well, see, it'll ruin my side business. I always go out and steal catalytic converters. That's what
You got something in your backyard, huh?
Yeah, I've got it piled up in my backyard.
There it is.
All those rare earth minerals.
Yeah, that's right. You don't think we've stayed on 20 years without me making some money on the side?
Catalytic converter still.
Democratic presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, I love to say that name, says in order to protect children, the government should ban anyone under age 16 from accessing social media. Good idea or bad idea, Ogie?
Oh, that's just brilliant. The Ramaswamy ding dong. I mean, what is wrong with? How are you going to enforce that? How are you really going to? How is that going to work, Jim?
That
Come
could be
on,
some kind of governmental lock like they do in China when they block out. I don't know, Dave.
Yeah, that genie's already out of the bottle. You're not putting that one back in.
I mean, it's possible for a government to cut off social media.
I guess so, but we're not China.
Yeah, Keith?
I think the government should ban him from making any more statements right now.
He might do it.
Yeah, I think that's what needs to happen.
That's right. Finally, guys, scientists now say an ingredient in energy drinks allows mice to live 12% longer than normal. Guys, you now plan to buy a lot more energy drinks so that you can live 12% longer. Ogie.
I dispute those findings. I used to be strung out on Monster. I loved them. I drank 3 a day every day.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, there's something not right about this. So I kind of
stopped it.
I don't drink.
You going to increase them, Dave?
I've never had one, but I will still drink coffee.
Okay, Keith, you going to drink more energy drinks?
Well, I always realized that rats, human rats live long if they drink stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I think
we're not talking about human rats.
You talking about rats?
These are rats.
I'm gonna stay away from that.
All right. Well, speaking of longevity, a Florida woman just turned 100 years old. Asked how she, explains her long life. She says, "I play poker every single day." It makes sense because at that age, it's important to have a successful flush every day. It's a poker. So you have a poker flush.
Sort of like that catalytic converter.
Well, we may not make it to 21. I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.